Hello.
What's up? What's up, everybody? You are about to get highly educated with the Cannabis Closet podcast with Canna Queen and MJ. This is an adult content show with no limitations on subject, language, or actions. Opinions, views, and expressions may or may not be that of the hosts, their guests, their subsidiaries. Please note we are not medical physicians, and any information shared is based solely on our personal research and knowledge. We are also not attorneys. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up?
We're just
look at those
awesome.
beautiful purple hearts. I love it. Thanks for the love bomb. Thanks for the love bomb. If you didn't get here when I was playing that little video, that was Mihaly from Twiddle. And I highly recommend going back and just watching the first little bit of the show just so you can hear that riff, because it was amazing and I could not share it.
Such a great show. I mean, from start to finish, it was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It's beautifully done. When they did Longview, I kind of lost my mind a little bit too. It was so great. So if you're smoking on something, let us know what that is in the comment section. It is Wednesday. It's hump day. The show is called Daylight Saved Me. or Daylight Saving Us is what it's called. And I did that because we had daylight savings on Sunday, and every time we change the clocks, everybody complains about it. Like everybody, every time we change it forward, every time we change it back. And honestly, I hope we never change it again. I hope we change it to this. This is the time that it needs to be. This is the time that it needs to be. And then we don't change it back, because honestly, it's going to get dark earlier regardless. And so we don't need to make that even earlier. We don't need to get dark at 4 o'clock. It does not need to get dark at 4 o'clock.
So I posted this. I follow this historian. His name's James Fell, and he does a series of sweary history. And so he does a daily history post, and basically it's sweary history. So it's a particular event or person or whatnot in history, and he details it out along with cursing about it. Right. And so he actually did a whole rant on daylight savings time, and it's not about the farmers, according to him. So I can just to get a taste, and you had the trigger warning, but the
trigger warning is here.
It's here. Fuck daylight savings time. Fuck it in every hole with a cactus. Actually, wait. Fuck standard time. Let's stick with daylight. I'm at the 51st parallel and don't want the goddamn sun coming up at 4 a.m. in June. Just fucking pick one and stick with it. He goes on. Yeah, it's apocryphal. I can't say that word. Apocryphal. But the story goes that a Native American was told about the reason behind daylight savings time, and he replied, "Only a white man would believe that you could cut a foot off the top of a blanket, sew it to the bottom, and have a longer blanket." Whether this was said or not, that is one true goddamn statement. Hey, George Hudson, I know you're dead, but fuck you. You should have stuck to your fucking bugs and not fucked with time. British-born New Zealander Hudson was an amateur entomologist who did shift work, and he wanted more daylight to look for bugs. So in 1895, he said, "Hey, everyone, let's fuck with the clock so I can see better to dig up fucking ants and centipedes and shit, because it's all about me." Asshole.
Asshole.
A group of Canadian cities began toying with daylight savings time as early as 1908 because Canadians can be assholes too. But it wasn't used at the national level until April 30th, 1916, when the Germans and Austrians were in the middle of a giant fucking war they started. They said, hey, let's be even bigger assholes on the international stage and implement Hudson's dumbass fuck idea because maybe it would help save coal during a time of war. A bunch of other European countries soon followed, and here we fucking are. It wasn't created for farmers. That's a myth. Farmers fucking hate it. Listen to the farmers. Um, not everyone believes daylight saving time to be as dumb as fuck. Those people are dumb as fuck. In my opinion, defending changing clocks twice a year is fucking dumb, and we need to stop doing it. There are arguments both for and against, linking it to shit like heart attacks and car crashes and unproven energy savings and deceased efficiency and computer glitches. And won't someone think of the poor little children walking to school in the dark?
We
There's
did it
no
in the 80s.
we totally have done it. Doesn't matter what there is no convincing evidence that changing clocks is a good thing. Likewise, proponents of saying fuck the clock is wrong and fiddling with buttons to change it while you're driving your Honda Civic to work and you're tired as fuck because it's too goddamn early on a springtime Monday and you're not paying attention to the road, so you blow through a stop sign and take out an old lady and her little Bichon Frise too. Those people say the criticisms are overstated. Holy run-on sentence, where was I? Oh yeah, since the pros and cons are so fucking debatable, then maybe we should just err on the side of not fucking with time. Go check out James Fell. He does have a couple of books and about his sweary history, and he has a couple of other ways to follow him, and he's hilarious. So
It's hilarious. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, but we should keep it this time. This is the time we should keep.
This is, yeah, like, if you don't like the daylight to go to sleep, you put little things over your eyes, or you get shades that black out the light, and
yeah, I mean,
and let everyone else,
let everyone else enjoy daylight until 9 p.m. Okay.
And people, it's like, aren't we more productive?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
The lights go down, and I'm like, I gotta be inside. I gotta be at home.
Like, why am I outside if it's dark?
The street lights are on. The street lights are on. I need to be at home.
Yes. You said, oh, this was the thing. This was the why is Canna mad today? I'm not mad at daylight savings this time around. I will be in the fall, but I'm not mad at it because, and also I'm not mad at it. And also it was on my birthday. I lost an hour of my birthday celebration to give you guys more sunlight. So you're welcome. I sacrificed for you.
Yep.
You know what I didn't post? The poster today is in Discord. So let me just go over there and make sure that everyone knows
that it's 4:20 on Wednesday. Yeah, I just put that in there more because it was the post was a rant, not so much. James Fell was mad today. I do have some new women's history, Black women in history, that I don't think we've talked about.
Okay.
And so
I have a video to play for this history corner too. So, do you want to go first?
No, go for the video.
Okay. I have this video. We talk about this a lot, especially in cannabis, and I thought it was super relevant just to hear it from somebody else's mouth. But we talk about how in cannabis there's no this happens just in businesses in general, that there's no requirement necessarily for us to purchase or run a business in our own neighborhood, but we can do it in other people's neighborhood. And there's nothing saying that we can't just take all the money that we make in the other people's neighborhood and take it back to our neighborhood and spend it there. And so that's what happens. And it happens also in cannabis, of course. But then I came across this video. It's a TikTok video from her name is at Circus Fairy 33. The fairy is Faery. And she was talking about how she was talking about redlining, and she was talking about how Asian business owners could get business licenses, but only to open in Black neighborhoods. And so she explains how people in those neighborhoods, the neighborhood itself has to pay double because they're paying for the service of whatever they're getting or the product. And then they're paying through their community because that money doesn't stay in their community. It leaves with the people running the business. And so she kind of talks about that. So that's, I'm going to roll clip. She's answering a question. If you want to go check her out and check out the whole thread and go back all the way to where it began, it's very interesting to watch, but this was super relevant.
Thank you for setting me up to talk about this. I know that you and many other Black people know the answer, but it is something that I'm still processing and it hits me really hard in the gut. And so I want people to understand that I am answering the question, what do I know? I'm not speaking for anyone. Many commenters today have pointed out how many affluent Black towns have been created and destroyed throughout United States history. And most non-Black people know about the Tulsa Massacre, Black Wall Street, Lake Lanier, but it was many Black towns. One commenter said over 60. And it's not that some Black people sometimes were able to establish a successful community that accumulated wealth. It's that Black people were consistently able to go anywhere and together establish strong communities that accumulated wealth and had education systems and businesses and were thriving. And every time it happened, people destroyed them. And then as you progress through time, it becomes less acceptable to burn and flood and massacre entire towns. So again, you have the passing of the Civil Rights Act in 1964, and the United States opens the door to Asian immigration in 1965. The United States has a long history of using immigrants to get in the way of Black people. And so I think that this system of using immigrant-owned businesses in Black communities is designed to siphon wealth away from Black communities. And another commenter asked me, why do I think that people are afraid of letting Black people build their communities and accumulate wealth and to thrive? And we see it so many times. It's because they fear revenge, because they know what they have done to Black people. But again, we have been told that if Black people wanted revenge, it would have happened already. That is not what they want. And I think that people think that the violence and exploitation and abuse of power that they have exacted upon Black people and all Black, brown, indigenous, and people of color is a universal human trait. And that if anybody has that wealth and power, then they would return that evil in kind. But it's not. It is specific to, and all Black people want is to be allowed to thrive and accumulate wealth and exist as other people have been allowed to do. And again, please understand that I am answering the question, what do I think that I know?
Your screen went black, hon. Not sure what that's about, but yeah, so we talk about this a lot, but there was actually like a push. She says in another video, okay. Can you hear me? No, you're gonna have to go out and come back in. It's yours. I can hear myself.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Technical difficulties as always. It was a systematic push from the US government to have immigrants come in and build businesses in these neighborhoods while Black people couldn't get loans to open their own businesses in their own neighborhoods. And so that has always been a problem. And what she's saying there is true, that the US has often used immigrants to as an excuse for why, like to pit us against each other and to hold Black people back. And so the systemic push to get Asian run businesses in Black communities, but not allowing Black people to get the same loan for a business in their own community, is how they tried to keep Black people from building their own communities and being successful. And every time that they saw that they could not stop that from happening, they destroyed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ran that list last year of the lakes and the reservoirs that were created over Black towns.
Yeah.
You know, successful town, and yeah, Lake Lanier.
Successful, very successful, sometimes more successful than their counterparts. And that's the problem, right? You can't be more successful. You can't be smarter. You can't be better at, you can't be more beautiful than, you can't
unless
be
it's to entertain us.
Unless it's to entertain us,
or
right?
For, for our gain,
right?
Or yeah. So
exactly. So yeah, go check her out. What did I say? Her at Circus Fairy, FAERY 33. At Circus Fairy 33 is the name of that content creator, and she has some pretty insightful things to say on that topic. So it's pretty interesting to hear that perspective. And I mean, it's a similar perspective, I guess, but I mean, it's true. It is true. And there's another video that she does, because she had done a video and I guess she had taken it down about because the whole conversation, I believe, started with about violence against the Asian communities in America because of, I mean, you name it, throughout history, but as most recently because of coronavirus, COVID. And she made kind of a comment that said that, like, Asians don't commit the violence again, but then she came back and she was like, I have to correct myself because that's not true. And she goes into her explanation. But I highly recommend her. I mean, she's got some poignant things to say, and if you kind of want to hear that insight, go check her out. So did you so you want to do this link right here,
yeah, there's just a couple. I think there are a couple that we have spoken about, of course, and then but I think there's a couple new women we can recognize. And
okay.
We don't have to do them all today. We can keep it moving. But I guess we don't have.
I mean, we're
do whatever we won't.
We're good. Yeah.
So this is from the Smithsonian's website in women's history, and hold on. Oh, this is just a first picture, but it's not the first person. We have talked about Amanda Smith before. She is the Anyway, orator and evangelist Amanda Smith forged a new role for women in the Methodist Church in the late 19th century. Some of Smith's many accomplishments include establishing an orphanage for Black children outside of Chicago, Illinois. She was most known for her powerful speeches and as she ministered to many in England, India, and West Africa. So, Amanda Smith. Lynette Usen. She is a fifth-generation basket weaver from the Gullah community in South Carolina. The Gullah are a group of African Americans living in the Southeast who maintain cultural, linguistic, and artistic traditions from West African ancestors. Usen creates decorative and utilitarian baskets. Fanner baskets, like this basket from the Smithsonian American Art Museum, are used to separate rice from its hulls. Usen has woven baskets for more than 45 years, and she teaches her art. She also helps protect coastal habitats where basketry grasses grow, including native sweetgrass.
Nice.
That's awesome.
This is Mary Lee Mills. Sorry.
Mills, yes. Mary Lee Mills. Whoa, she's got a lot of initials behind her. So Captain Mary Lee Mills, USPHS, MSN, MPH, RN, CNM, began her career in public health as a nurse midwife. In 1946, Mills joined the United States Public Health Service, where she completed tours of duty in Liberia, Lebanon, and South Vietnam. She helped to establish the first nursing school in Lebanon, and she was awarded Lebanon's National Order of the Cedar in response to her efforts. Paving the way. Sonia Sanchez.
I'm hanging out with this woman. She looks like somebody I want to hang out with.
I know, I love
but also I'm a little afraid of her.
Born on September 9th, 1934 in Birmingham, Alabama, Sonia Sanchez has inspired generations of women and African Americans through poetry, teachings, plays, and activism. As a prominent member of the Black arts movement, she made a name for herself by centering Black pride and creative expression. In 1975, she joined the English faculty of Temple University, where she taught and mentored young people for nearly 25 years. Her work includes dozens of books, essays, short stories, and other materials. So we should definitely
try to get some of that and maybe read it.
Yeah. Did we talk about doing like a book club once?
We did talk about doing a book club once.
I'll put that in the idea book.
We have to. I'm reading 3 books right now.
I'm listening to one.
I have a couple that I'm also listening to, but I'm reading 3. So I'm trying to read Dune, but it's very difficult. So I have to stop from time to time and put it down. And so I'm over halfway through that one.
I feel like I would need to read and listen to that one at the same time sometimes.
Yeah, maybe I should try that. Maybe I should try that. And then I have the whole set too. So I got the whole set for Christmas. I have the rest. So I have the other 2 books too that I have to do. I haven't started them yet, of course, because I'm still in the first one. But so I'm trying to get through that one, and it's been a minute. I've been trying to really read this book, but the language in this book is very difficult. Sometimes that you have to go back and read the paragraph again. It takes me longer to read a chapter.
It's because partially it's like its own
language, right? And its own. Right. They've created a world, and so they have to create language around that world.
And really
worlds
in it.
Many worlds.
Right.
And so it's kind of difficult. And then I'm also reading a John Grisham book, which I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. But I love John Grisham. I've been a big fan of his since I was a kid, or like when I say kid, I was like, I guess a teenager.
Yeah. When all
whatever.
Books.
He's an attorney, or he was an attorney. And so he writes from that kind of perspective. Anyways, it's always a mystery. It's interesting. So I'm reading that. I'm about halfway through that. It's a pretty, interesting, and I understand all the words. So reading that. And then my hairstylist gave me this book called Untamed. And I just started reading that book today, and I just kept reading. I wanted to, what's up, Little Bobby Customs? I kept going. So this book is about a woman our age, in our age range. And she's been, a mother and a wife, like half of her life, or her whole life, or whatever, her whole adult life. And she, and then she finds out that her husband has had several affairs throughout their marriage. And it's this whole journey that she goes through, discovering kind of her new self, which, not a spoiler alert, but sort of a spoiler alert. But I mean, she kind of talks about it in the beginning. It's like right in the beginning of the book, but that she's married to a woman now. So like discovering and understanding who she is as a person and not just who she's supposed to be in society and in her marriage and in her relationships, who she was told to be. And so that's what I'm reading right now. And it's very good so far. I did not want to put it down, but I had to because I had to work.
Right.
So
I'm listening to The Martian, which is pretty good. They made a movie with it with Matt Damon, which I did not.
What's it called?
The Martian.
The Martian. Oh, yes. Okay.
But I never saw the movie either. So
I've not either, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have a couple of books that are laying next to my pillow that I have not picked up in a hot minute, but they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just have this thing where I have to be like in the mood for it. It's like a flavor almost. You know what I'm saying? Like even with TV, if it don't taste right, I can't watch it. It's just like all of my senses are working together. I know that sounds really high if my TV don't taste right, but like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a flavor that I need. It's like a craving that I have. And the same goes for books. So if I'm because when a book's not, it's not your craving. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
but
I was just kind of applying that in, to the way that I choose, kind of choose things and
yeah,
like it's, it's not just,
it's not even, it's like sometimes like, I feel like I would enjoy this, but I'm not craving it right now. But this is what I'm going to enjoy right now because this is what I'm craving. Right. It's not even that I don't enjoy that. It's just that I'm not craving that right now.
Yeah. It's not going to
satiate me. It's not going to satisfy.
Great word. I was just,
I've been reading. So today I did this thing today where I kind of took my time in the day because Mondays and Wednesdays are show days. So we really like dedicate time to creating show notes and like really trying to like put the pieces together so that it's a little bit more interesting for you guys. It's not just us like, oh shit, we have to talk about headlines again today because we don't have a guest. It's not that. We literally spend the whole day like making sure that we have some things to have a conversation about. So since that's my day on Wednesday, even though I get up early still, I kind of just did things in their own time. And I really did get a lot more done today. Nice. So like I didn't get up and work out right away, but instead I got up and like I got my dogs together and I actually ate earlier in the morning. I smoked my first blunt a little earlier. And then I did some stuff. And then I just turned everything off. And cause I was like trying to find what I was craving. And I couldn't find the podcast, the book on the audiobook, the TikTok. I couldn't find the TV show. I couldn't find the music. I couldn't find the thing that I was craving. What's up, Daryl? And I turned everything off, and guess what? I was craving that. I was craving the absolute silence. I was craving it. I was like, this is why you can't find anything to feed that, because
right.
That's not what you're hungry for. You're hungry for this silence. I spent a good hour and a half, 2 hours probably in silence today. Just like, and then I sat down and I read a little bit of this book, Untamed. And I did work out. I went for a run today when it got warmer. I took my dogs to the dog park and I like got show notes together. Like I was really productive. I think I even uploaded one of the shows that I've been backlogged on. So like I was like super productive today, but I didn't do them in these like time slots that I like, you have to do it right now.
Yourself lined up for, right?
Right.
Do you think that it was, I mean, do you think that it could be something you would continue on as like terms of schedule, or do you like do you feel like you need that structured, at least maybe just a checklist versus put into hours?
Yeah. I think the checklist versus putting it into like dedicated hours, just like make sure you do it, make sure you get in the shower before you go on the show today.
No. You're telling me what to do.
Don't, you know what I'm saying? No, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like make sure you do it at 8 o'clock. It's just like make sure you get it done today. Like and I feel like that's a little bit better. Yeah. Or it was at least today. My mood could change tomorrow. I'm a whole Pisces.
Right. Whatever, you swim to whatever works best.
Whatever's working best for the day. But then I was also noticing like it was really difficult for me to like want to work out right, in the morning. So I was just because my body kind of was still like stretching and aching and whatever. I am going to have to start getting up a little earlier for the jog eventually, because it's going to get too hot at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it will for you there 100%.
Yeah, so Kelly's saying I have a morning and an afternoon to-do list. I think that's a great idea as well. So it's just like, what should I get to? And like, I did things. I loaded the dishwasher today, y'all. I washed dishes that couldn't go in the dishwasher today. I made myself a cold chai today. I like boiled some eggs for breakfast. I like was really productive in my day.
Like this is what happens after a sloth weekend, or
yeah, like it complete opposite of like Monday, where I was just like, I can't function today. That's always my day after the macrodose of some mushrooms. Somebody told me that they did 2 days in a row of mushrooms, and I just cannot. Day 2, I am looking to cause a felony. I'm like, it's just downer for me for a macro. I can do micros every day, but to macrodose,
no,
2 days in a row, I feel murderous the second day. Like I did it one time, and I've done it twice, because I was like, let me just make sure it wasn't like hormonal, right? It could have been, you don't know.
Scientific. You got to be scientific about it.
You got to be scientific about it. I've done it twice. Both times I was like insanely and intensely fatigued, exhausted, and just mad. Like leave me. Don't talk to. I will start fights. So I can't do it 2 days in a row, which is a bummer, because we did have 2 days of, or one night and 1 day of fantastic shroomy experience. Like, they were fantastic on their own, but they both would have been fun on shroomies, but we had to pick one.
Yeah.
So we picked the one that would to me, I think that it's a very interesting space, but also to me, it would not be as interesting if I was just
walking around without.
Just walking around. So I picked that's why I chose that one, because I was like, I'm going to pick the one, because I'm going to have fun at the Twiddle concert regardless of any drugs. I don't have to take a single drug. Right. I'm just going to enjoy the music. But with that, I mean, some people can go there and enjoy what it is and respect what, whatever. I respect what it is, but I don't think I would enjoy it as much just stone cold, and you can't smoke in there. So
I don't think I would.
I wish they had a smoking section.
I would enjoy it, the appreciation of it just for what it is, but also would not I don't know.
I mean,
it was better elevated.
It was better elevated, and things were funnier elevated.
Yeah. And people were so serious, and I was like, "What?"
Serious. It's happened to me. I didn't really notice it when I went to Meow Wolf last time, because I didn't really get the giggles. I don't know. I probably just didn't take enough or wasn't taking the right thing. But The first time that I went to the one in Santa Fe, I mean, I was in my own world. My friends were there, and we were just like living in the space and time of my mind. Like in my world, that's where I was. And my friend, my best friend and her daughter came out, both very good friends of mine. But they came out and they were like, later on, they were like, people were so serious around us. And I was laughing my face off. I was like, I probably shouldn't be in public right now. I was crying. My face was wet. It was great. We were wearing masks because it was in the middle of, our plague. But
maybe they're just jealous that they weren't laughing.
I mean, and they were mad. This is what I think. Like, a lot of people go there because it's family friendly, so a lot of people go there with their.
It's a museum. It's art.
It's a museum, right? So a lot of people go there with their children, but they don't look like they're having a good time.
Yeah, like, are your children are y'all enjoying what you're seeing and why you're here? Like, some people.
I appreciate why you want to bring your kids. I appreciate why you want to bring your kids so that they can see, because like I mean, being 5 years old and seeing that place is like being 46 on mushrooms. That's what it's like.
Right.
So I get why you want to bring your kid.
Yeah. So also,
but you as the parent are not taking also mushrooms, so you have to wrangle your little children, and that's probably exhausting and not fun.
Yeah. Oh.
We should ask my husband about it. Is it fun to wrangle us when we get lost? Like, probably not.
The best was walking into that theater and being part of the art.
I forgot about that. We were so loud too. We were so loud.
We were the only ones talking in the movie theater. I'm laughing, but no one told us to hush.
Kids suck. No one told us to be quiet, but we were sitting there, and then it was like old school Disney sort of, right?
Right. It was like that distorted kind of cartoon Disney. Yeah, right.
But like with a dark side.
Yeah, like distorted Disney. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're sitting there, and then I don't even remember the movie. I don't even remember what they were playing, but we were like reacting.
Well, we were reacting to ourselves because you looked at me and you said, "Are we part of the art?" And then you just died. And then
he said, "Yeah, y'all were super loud."
I was like, "Is Walter gonna be able to find us?" Yes.
He said, "I stood outside waiting." He heard you say it. He heard you say, "Is Walter gonna be able to find us?" Bitches, I know where you are. He has to wrangle it. This is what I'm saying. Having us was probably the equivalent to having like a 5 or 6 year old in there, except mostly we listened, except when we got in that movie theater, though, we just stopped. We got in the booth. We didn't care what else was going on. It was such an interesting thing. And I don't remember any of it. I don't remember any of the movie.
I don't remember the first part, but I remember like what the second one that came on was kind of like go to work. It was like a propaganda kind of movie, like go to work 40 hours a day, like you're supposed to, and kind of like commercial or whatever. Yeah. We were like, we watched it and we're like, all right, we're gonna go now.
It was
clapped after the first one.
Oh yeah, so we clapped. We were clapping, and somebody in the front was like, what? He didn't know if he should. He didn't know if he should clap or not. We were back there just. I do it again, but I have to be on mushrooms for that place for sure. But I remember, the only thing I remember is we were reacting to the movie. We were like, "What?"
It was lovely. It was funny.
It was great. We cried like happy tears. Like happy tears. I still have this screen. Did you want to go back to
yeah,
it?
I know. Yeah, I wanted to actually, so we have talked about, we have highlighted and talked about Ruth Temple. She was the doctor in Los Angeles. Anyway, so she was a leading figure in the public health and focused most of her efforts improving the lives of Black East Angelinos. In 1918, Temple became the first African-American woman graduate of Loma Linda University in California. She went on to found the first medical clinic in Southeast Los Angeles, and the community health clinic provided residents treatment for substance abuse, offered immunizations, and focused on teaching health literacy. In 1948, Ruth was appointed director of the Division of Public Health for the city of Los Angeles. A clinic in Los Angeles was named after her in 1983, honoring her legacy.
Ow. I just wanted to point out that we just went on this like, I don't know where everybody's at tonight. We just went on this like long hiatus of our own, and then we're like, oh wait, we were talking about something.
Well, it's our show.
It is our show. We could do what we want.
Closet podcast when we're allowed to just do whatever we want. I mean, our show notes. This is in our show notes.
It is. Absolutely,
the
it is.
the
Oh, you know, I was thinking today.
Not.
You know, I was thinking today, and I meant to do it, and I think I'm going to do it for next time. Oh, we should probably. Well, we'll get to that. But I think I'm going to probably do it for next time. But is that we should open with like a little advertisement also, and then do one. Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, I definitely would like to restructure some of our show notes. We can do that.
Great. If you guys have any suggestions on the restructure, we'll listen, but we may not follow, so don't get mad about that.
Yeah, we'll intake, but we might not implement. So this next one, what you're looking at is a piece by Renee Stout called The Old Fortune Teller's Board. It's a mixed media piece of painted wood, watercolor, and ink on paper.
I was going to say that this looks like witchcraft right here.
Yes. Glass bones, chamois, raffia, or sinew, and chamois, anyway, and metal alloy. This is at the Smithsonian American Art Museum. So she's an artist, obviously, that works in many mediums, including painting, photography, and mixed media installation. She received her Bachelor of Fine Arts from Carnegie Mellon University, and today she lives in and works in Washington, D.C. Stout's work explores healing, spirituality, and divination in a creative and playful way. She creates work as her fictional alter ego, Fatima Mayfield. Mayfield is an herbalist, a fortune teller. The Old Fortune Teller's Board from the Smithsonian Collection represents the items Fatima would use in her fortune-telling practice. For the Hirshhorn Artist Diary series documenting artists during the COVID-19 pandemic, Stout speaks about the need for joyful moments before lacing up her roller skates for a spin around her studio. So she,
holla.
Take notes.
I gotta replace this carpet with hardwood floors. I'm gonna start wearing roller skates to the show. Put it on the list.
I know. I'm like, you know what? I've got my carpets like flat, and I could roller skate around in here.
I don't like
just to learn, until I get to, like, I haven't really I've gone roller skating, but I haven't roller skated, like tried to do like tricks and stuff since I was like a kid.
No, I can't do tricks. I don't even know how to do it backwards. I can't even go backwards.
My best friend and I, when we were growing up in Oklahoma, and granted, going back to see where I grew up, the driveway was not as long as I remember it being as a kid. Because I remember being this long ass fucking stretch of cement that we would, no, it was not. But yeah, so my best friend and I would do this thing, and we'd skate up to each other, and we'd spin around. We did a thing, and but that was about as far as I got in my skating career.
Yeah, I don't do I can't go backwards. I've been trying. I try every time I get on a pair of roller skates. I really do practice. But listen, we just moved in August, so we're just, doing things as they come. I definitely want to rip every piece of carpet out of this house and put hard floors and rugs because ew. Okay, listen.
That I think it.
Have you ever pulled carpet up?
No.
Oh, it is. I can't. We did it in our last place. Now that carpet had been there since the beginning of time. I don't even know how long that carpet had been there, but we pulled it up and it was so disgusting. It was the most disgusting thing I had ever seen. I was just like, we can't ever have carpet again, and here we are with a house full of carpet. I do think that
at least it's newer. Like
I was gonna say, I do think that they kind of like put in newish, or it's newer. It's not like,
right,
when they were planning on selling it
and taken care of, or
right.
like
Yeah. Road trip. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh. Barbara Jordan.
All of these things that you're seeing, these are at the Smithsonian in DC, y'all. So Barbara Jordan, politician, lawyer, and professor. She was an outspoken advocate for social equity. As a Texan lawyer, Jordan volunteered for the Democratic presidential candidate John F. Kennedy and his running mate, Texan Lyndon B. Johnson. Volunteering inspired Jordan to enter politics. After 2 unsuccessful campaigns, Jordan won a seat in the Texas Senate in 1966. She became one of 2 African Americans elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1972. In 1976, she became the first African American woman to deliver a keynote address at the Democratic National Convention. She retired from politics and became a professor, teaching even after she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and began using a wheelchair. She lived with her companion, Nancy Earl, for over 20 years. That is Barbara Jordan and a presidential. Oh. We should put people's faces on our button. That's what I do. But
I don't disagree with you. I think that would be fun.
History buttons. Rhiannon Giddens, Amethyst Kaya, Layla McCalla, and Allison Russell.
We can't play this because it's YouTube, but
you can. We'll post this to the Facebook page, and it'll be in the show notes. Right? Is that working out again?
No. I can't get it in the show notes, but
we'll post it on the Facebook.
We can post it on the Facebook page.
Okay. Musical group Our Native Daughters shines light on African American women's stories of struggle, resistance, and hope. Banjo playing members Rhiannon Giddens, Amethyst Kaya, Layla McCalla, and Allison Russell draw from the 17th, 18th, and 19th century sources. They reinterpret old compositions and create original new works. Oh, I'm going to go check them out. With unflinching, razor-sharp honesty, Our Native Daughters use their Black women's perspectives to confront stories about slavery, racism, misogyny, and empowerment. Their songs call on the spirits of the daughters, mothers, and grandmothers who have fought for justice. Our Native Daughters. I'm going to go. And that is the end.
This is the end? All right.
That
was good. That was a good list.
I
like finding those lists. I did not put any news stories in the show notes today because, well, I just didn't. I don't really have a reason.
Because we still had a handful, right?
Well, there's just a couple left that we didn't like just touch on at least or whatever.
Oh, we can.
I'm just trying to look and see if there's anything actually super interesting happening. Let's see. I guess the percentage of Americans acknowledging medical cannabis use has doubled. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen. That's the trend that's happening. But yeah, so we talked a little bit about Oklahoma. I'm working on getting somebody from Oklahoma to come on so that we can talk about it and see what they think happened. You know what I'm saying? Like some advocates that are out there.
Right.
Or what, you know, I'd like to hear their perspective on what happened because we can kind of see, you know, what we think happened, but like what happened, you know?
Yeah, it would be great to have perspective there on the ground. I can talk to my friend. He's in Oklahoma. I can check in with him, see if he knows anyone as well. Maybe we can have a couple people on.
Oh, so funny. So the first story I have, I don't think we touched on this one. Delaware House passes adult use cannabis bill with 2/3 supermajority. This is in normal, NORML.org. So Delaware took a major step towards ending cannabis prohibition. When they say that, I'm just very cautious because I don't feel like you know what end prohibition means. Like end prohibition means that it's legal and for the most part, outside of violent acts or harmful acts against others, you can't get arrested for using it. Right? So that's not the case with most of these legalization bills, whether they come from a legislative standpoint or whether they're constitutional or whether they're just like a ballot initiative, whatever. They say they try to convince you that we're ending prohibition. Like that's what they said in Missouri too. No, you're not. You didn't end prohibition. People can still have encounters with the police because of cannabis without doing something harmful to themselves or others. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands like this today, but anyways. So just be careful when you see that word. Just be like skeptical, I guess, when you hear them say we're going to end cannabis prohibition today. I want the next question to be, does that mean that we can't get arrested for having cannabis on on our person, in our possession? Growing cannabis, we can't get arrested for growing cannabis. We can't get arrested for, you know what I'm saying? Like, does that what that means? Does that mean, okay, so like ending prohibition, right? And we're talking about alcohol. Does that mean that I can brew it in my house and you're not going to say anything about it? You're going to be cool with it, and I can create a little side hustle business, an LLC, if you will, for my brewery and just get all of the proper documentation from the powers that be for alcohol licensing. But like, is that what that means? No, that's not what that means. Okay. Does not mean that. Does not mean that. If you grow too many plants, if you have too much cannabis on your person or in your possession, if you are selling it under your LLC without their permission, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not an end to prohibition. They said in the beginning, they were going to legalize it like alcohol, but that has not happened. That's not happened. There's limits on everything. You have to have these exorbitant, crazy licensing Like, it's just
testing on top of testing, packaging on top of packaging.
Yeah. But when was the last time you saw that a beer was packaged in any childproof packaging?
Right, that you can't just pop the top or twist a cap or
right.
Yeah.
But if I sell something with THC in it, I have to put a child safe something on it.
Child safe, and hide it from their poor little eyes.
Yeah, it has to be opaque. It has to be opaque. That's right. It has to be opaque, or it has to be in an exit bag that you can't see into.
Yeah.
Gotta hide it. Hide it. Don't put it in New Jersey. I don't know what their new laws for their adult use is, but I know their old laws for their I'm pretty sure it was New Jersey, you couldn't put it in ice cream. And there's somewhere in New England where you couldn't put it in a custard or a tart.
Like a specific thing, like a very,
very specific. It can't be frozen. It can't be refrigerated. It can't be blah, 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 blah.
That's just
let us fucking do it, dude. Test for the necessary shit. Y'all doing too much. Because even with the testing, I'm gonna get back to Delaware. Even with the testing, though, like I probably have 2 or 3 right now. Alerts in my inbox. I get alerts as a stakeholder in the industry because I am certified to teach responsible vendor training right here. And so I get these alerts and they tell me like when recalls happen and everything, and then they recall shit that's already been used. Like even with all the testing, you don't even catch it in time to save the public. Like, so like what is
testing then?
Yeah, like what are you doing? And I'll tell you this, in the state of Colorado, other states, when they brought on medical first, they brought on testing almost like not immediately, but like they brought it onto the program as intertwined as in it grew and functioned, right? Some states haven't grown their labs in function at all. But anyways, I digress. So when we first got medical, we didn't do no testing. Nobody tested nothing. And then they brought on adult use and they were like, you have to test that. And then they were like, but what about them? And they're like, don't worry about them. You have to test that. Right? So medical never test. Medical
wasn't required.
Medical for your health and well-being wasn't required to test for things like mold and aspergillus and blah 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 blah.
No, not until later.
I think not until like a year or 2 into adult use.
Yeah, like the next time something came up for
Mm-hmm.
And they updated
so crazy. So anyways, okay. So you guys know that if it passes in one, it still has to pass in the other. So longtime advocates applaud lawmakers for tenaciously working to advance the measure for voting in line with public sentiment. Let's see. HB 2, the Delaware Marijuana Control Act, to legalize an adult use market. The bill passed 27 to 13 to 1. So I guess there's one person that just didn't. They were like, I don't know.
Just gonna hang out.
just don't count them. A 2/3 majority with bipartisan support. Okay, so the people of Delaware overwhelmingly support cannabis legalization, and we deserve to see our legislator finally make this important change in 2023. So this is Delaware Cannabis Advocacy Network, Zoe Patchell. HB 2 easily cleared the 3/5 majority required for any proposed Delaware law that institutes a new tax. So that's a hurdle that they haven't been able to leap over in the past few years. It has taken more than a decade on the part of grassroots volunteers and our bill sponsors to get to this historic victory. The people have always been the underdog in this fight. And now, after years of delaying reform, we're finally seeing legislative votes reflect public support where proponents outnumber opponents 2-1. So, today's victory comes after years of gridlock. Recent reform bills stalled in the House due to steep approval requirements for new laws with licenses and taxes. Let's see. So last year, the retail market bill was just a single vote short of a 3/5 majority. And also in the last session, the bill to remove cannabis penalties passed both House and Senate, but Democratic Governor John Carney then issued a veto, one that the House narrowly failed to override. That's interesting. The 2023 session is already going to be much better, in a much better direction for cannabis policy reform. Both bills passed the House with more than enough votes to overturn any additional pushback from Governor Carney. So he's not on board. That's interesting. See, it's not the party, it's the stance that they hold. I wonder why he's against it. We could get into that, but we're not going to because it's Delaware.
Happy 420.
Happy 420 on the West Coast.
West Coast. I put a little follow-up article from MJ Biz Daily right under there. It just has Delaware, including Hawaii as well. So if you wanna,
yeah, let's do it.
Use that.
Thank you.
Too.
We got MJ Biz Daily. We got Hawaii, Delaware, adult use marijuana legalization outlook rosy after Oklahoma failure. They're clowning y'all.
What'd you miss? You missed us talking about. We did women's history, women and Black history. And
I would say the whole beginning of the show was epic. We started the show with some like riffs from Mihaly from Twiddle, and that's how we came in.
Yeah, so check it out. If you're tuning in now, you're watching the Cannabis Closet podcast with Canna Queen and MJ.
Did we tell anybody that?
We did. I mean, always in the beginning, but we got to start saying it more.
This show is brought to you by Queen Kitty Seltzer. Pop this kitty, put it in your mouth. We have Lemon Kiss, we have Bubblegum Burst, and we have Nearly Naked. 10 milligrams of CBD in each can. No yak in the back. It's delicious. Pop this kitty. You can find it on our website, www.queenkittyseltzer.com. You should go there and check it out because we got lots of merch too. And you can check us out on solo.to/queenkittyseltzer. That's where all of our social media is. You can also find our website there and everywhere, everything you need to contact us. So go check it out. Yeah, so this show is also brought to you by CQ LLC. We're a cannabis compliance and education company. www.cq-llc.com. Certified responsible vendor training provider. Working with Green Flower Media to provide an online platform to take a responsible vendor training. Hit us up if you're looking for us. Customer service, cqlc@gmail.com or 970-426-5985. And as always, you can follow us on the Cannabis Closet, solo.to/Cannabis Closet 420 to find all of our social media links and ways to engage with us and contact us, including on Discord. Join our Discord. Come hang out after the show. If you can't catch us live, catch us after. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I believe we're on Amazon Music right now too.
What?
And several other podcast stations. So go check it out. Solo.to/Cannabis Closet 420 to find all of our links. Have I updated the King Palms? No, I have not. I've not had time to do that.
Sorry.
I keep forgetting. Apologies. But yeah, so Hawaii and Delaware. So we just talked about Delaware. Legalization bills are marching through legislators in both states with support from the governor in Hawaii. So in Hawaii, they have governor support and a veto-proof legislation majority in Delaware. We just talked about that. So that's awesome. Let's see. The two relatively small states could deliver welcome wins in the year when federal reform appears blocked in Congress again. Can we just pause? Why? Why? Just like, why? It don't make, I know why. We know why.
We know why, but also why? Like why we can't.
It's so absolutely ridiculous. They look so stupid right now. I'll try to get one.
Because so someone else needs to reorder too.
So do I. Yeah, like we know it's all money based and everything, right? But like also just y'all look so stupid right now. Y'all look so fucking corrupt. They're just doing it right out in the open.
Right. Instead of making it accessible and capable for industry to happen fairly, it's all about protecting their assets, of course.
And it's so crazy to me because these same motherfuckers will get out of Congress. They will get eventually out of Congress. And maybe before they die, Mitch McConnell, get the fuck out. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know, whatever, before they die. And then they're going to, you know what they're going to do? They're going to invest in a cannabis company. They're going to put their fucking name on a cannabis company in a legal state. Yeah. While they sat in fucking Congress and in the Senate and blocked these fucking bills from the people. They're going to leave that, and then they're going to go make money on it and say, oh, wow, what a change of heart. Right? John Boehner. Do y'all remember when he did that shit? I was like fucking floored. I was like, the fucking caucasity, my friend. Sir, what the fuck? So crazy to me. Anyway, so Hawaii governor is like on board. That's awesome. The two relative blocked in Congress and progress in bigger states such as Ohio and Pennsylvania is still uncertain. Pennsylvania, you've got to participate.
Come on.
You got to participate. That should not be blocked. That should be going. You should be. Anyways.
Can you put the map up there? You want to throw the map up there?
This one? Yeah, I will. Let me share.
It's so funny. They keep the Oklahoma voters soundly rejected. It was a blowout loss.
I mean, it was, yeah. So this is the map. The orange states are both adult use and medical. The green states are medical, and then the gray states are missing out, is what's happening. There are people who
are gray.
I mean, come on. Maryland legalization begins later this year. So right now, Maryland is in the orange, but they haven't quite gotten there yet. But that's the plan. So both have Democratic trifectas where Democrats control governorships and both chambers and legislation. But it doesn't seem to matter in Delaware that that's happening because he's against it. Like he's vetoing it. What craziness. The same political, if you're in office and you're not listening to the will of the people, what are you doing there?
Yeah, who's paying you to say no?
What the fuck are you doing there?
Who are you like who? That's so gross.
Why are you here? It seems. Anyways, okay. You know why? They don't have any control in their house. They have to go control the whole fucking world.
It's like that movie with Charlize Theron and what's his and Seth where she's like the trees. Yeah.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yes. Like I have to take the yes, or they're gonna like, yeah, it's so crazy to me. What is that movie? It is called I'll think of it in a minute. We'll look it up. Well, IMBD it or whatever. Shout out to IMBD. Okay. Let's see. The same political alignment exists in Minnesota, where an adult use legalization bill is marching through the legislature. Though reluctant conservative Democrats, stop giving them new names, okay? They're not. I'm just over it. Anyway, still need some convincing. Of what? What? Like, ask me. Come on here. Listen, if you live in one of these states, reach out to them and tell them to come on here and ask me any fucking question they want to fucking ask me, so that we can get things cleared up. Like, what do you need to be made? What do we need to convince you of? What needs to be convinced? Because your constituents want it. Your constituents want it. National observers agree that more legal states with Republican representation in Congress put pressure on federal lawmakers to advance major reforms such as rescheduling. Just the Hawaii governor, Josh Green, keep him in office as long as you can. He voted yes. He wants this to happen. He agrees with the people. If it passes, it's Senate Bill 669. If it passes, so call your senator. If you're in Hawaii, I know we have some listeners in Hawaii. If you're in Hawaii, call your senators and tell them you want this to happen. Make sure your voice is heard. It will set up authority to oversee an adult use industry. It will allow adults 21 and older to possess up to 30 grams of cannabis and cultivate up to 6 plants. So it has a cultivation. I love that. It will expunge certain cannabis offenses. So it's on the right track. Existing medical licenses would be able to convert to adult use. I don't like that.
It should be both. It should be required that they operate together.
Yes, they maintain that medical, and they can operate in the same space, but they got to maintain that medical.
Yeah.
Because if you tell them they can just convert to adult use, then they're just going to do that for the money. And then their patients get hit in the gut with those taxes. But if you require them to, you don't have to like get a new building. We'll do it all together. Require them to keep those medical prices and no tax against not an exorbitant tax against the medical community, then that's going to keep that medical program alive, and it's going to save patients. It's really going to, because I mean, come on, man. I don't like that one. I don't like that. But otherwise, I mean, it's got to grow. It's got a little grow in there. You can, it's 6 plants, but it's something. It's a start. You know what I'm saying?
The start.
The current, okay. So, the current proposal has some small business friendly provisions, including a cap on cultivation licenses of 5,000 square feet and limiting individual licensees to no more than 2 retail outlets. Okay. So, okay. I think maybe they should let them do 2 vertical situations, but they're trying to make sure that nobody monopolizes the market by doing this.
It's so small. It's not like they have
It
a
is
lot of,
so small. It is so small. And yeah, they don't have a lot of room, and you can't monopolize the market. People could do it and have like 15 stores, right? And then everybody else goes out of business. So they're trying to make it, I think that's what the point is. And that's the standard for everybody. So it's not just like, like Missouri was like, oh no, if you have the money, you can get a big facility. But if you don't have the money, you can only do this much. They're not doing that. They're saying everybody. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's not what y'all sound like. So then in Delaware, though, the Democratic governor, John Carney, why don't just be a Republican? Anyways, okay. vetoed an adult use legalization bill last May. This state house lawmakers on Tuesday approved a bill that would legalize possession of up to 1 ounce of cannabis. It was reported by the Wilmington News Journal. House Bill 1 passed 28-13 vote. 25 votes are needed in the state house to override the governor's veto. That bill now heads to Delaware State or Senate. It heads to the Senate now. Companion measure HB 2, which would set the framework for commercial sales, on Thursday passed the House, the state house, in another decisive vote, 27-13, with one abstention. If passed in the Senate and signed into law by Carney, HB 2, as currently written, would set a $5,000 application fee for what the fuck? Hold. $5,000? I mean, okay. Sure. I like it. Approved. $5,000 application fee. We'll see what the rest costs. But anyways, applicants then submit their applications to receive a score. So this is just to get the score. You could be out $5,000, but you could get your license, right? Looks like, for $5,000. A state cannabis commissioner would use that score to determine whether or not to issue the license. Edibles and smokable flower would both be allowed. That vote requires 3/5 majority to pass. It's encouraging to see these bills advance through the legislator without the legislator without supermajority support. We're hopeful this will be the year Delaware legalizes cannabis. Either if the governor doesn't stand in the way or if a veto is overridden. This is from Marijuana Policy Project O'Keefe. Let's see. Whether Delaware lawmakers would have an appetite to defy Carney remains to be seen. It looks like they already vetoed him, so we'll see what the Senate does with this. Last year, when Carney vetoed legalization, several lawmakers who supported legalization declined to challenge the governor. Oh, pussies. I just can't. Just stand up. Have some balls about you. Isn't that what you guys fucking trope on? That, you're as strong as your balls. Your balls are weak, bro.
Weak.
So weak fucking sauce.
Sensitive.
Sounds so damn sensitive. Just fucking stand on your fucking morals. If this is what you believe in, then fucking believe in it and stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so crazy to me. Just flip on a dime, just like, oh, well, I did support it, but no, governor said no, so everybody has that voice tonight. So it's just saying.
It's everyone.
Everyone is getting that voice tonight. What's up next? See y'all. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for hanging out. Let's see. We got this last one on the list that I have on the list. But I mean, if we want to talk about more, we can. Alaska Supreme Court orders prior cannabis convictions to be sealed from public view. So any prior criminal convictions for low-level cannabis possession offenses in compliance with a recently issued Supreme Court order, order number 2001, amending Administrative Rule 40A, concerning removal of certain marijuana possession convictions from public index. Those previously convicted of possessing 1 ounce or less of cannabis are eligible for record sealing. So it's just a sealed record. I mean, okay, I guess it's a step in the right direction, but why not just expunge it all together? Like, because it can be unsealed by a judge. In the case of, like, what if they get into something else? Could they use it against them later? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is estimating that some 800 Alaskans will receive relief under the order, which takes effect on May 1st. Alaska voters decided in favor of the initiative legalizing an adult use and sale of cannabis in 2014. However, for many years prior to that, personal cannabis possession in private was permitted under a 1975 Supreme Court decision, Raven versus State, if you guys are interested in reading that court decision. To date, 24 states have enacted laws providing explicit pathways to either expungement or otherwise set aside the records of those with low-level marijuana convictions. According to publicly available data compiled by NORML, state and local officials have issued over 100,000 pardons and more than 1.7 million cannabis-related expungements since 2018. Most recently, officials in Missouri expunged the records of some 7,500 residents. So I might click on that. Let's talk about it. With past cannabis convictions. In Connecticut, officials in January completed the process, expunging over 40,000 marijuana convictions. I mean, isn't Connecticut supremely more small than Missouri also? I don't know. I'd have to look at the map again. But anyway, I think Connecticut is small. 40,000? First of all, wow. Wow that you had that many.
I was like, is there a big prison system in Connecticut?
I mean, must be. So hundreds of thousands of Americans unduly carry the burden and stigma of past conviction for behavior that most Americans in growing number of states no longer consider a crime. Our sense of justice and our principles of fairness demand that the public officials and the courts move swiftly to right the past wrongs of cannabis prohibition and criminalization. I mean, okay, so I feel like we've taught, see, the page I'm looking for is not here. So I clicked on the link and it wouldn't take me there. Yeah, from the Courier Tribune. So I can't read up on these 7,500 release or expungements. It's interesting to me, but that's not nearly in line with prison population people. I mean, and you can still have an encounter with a police officer in Missouri and get arrested for cannabis. And that's crazy to me, because then what are they going to do? Have to like apply for expungement after they serve their sentence? This is like a waste of time and money. Making people jump through hoops for what? Control, a little bit of control. Has everybody been hydrating? Make sure you hydrate.
I actually need to go pee.
Oh, she's like, I've been hydrating all day. All right, well, let me get to the next segment. We did have our super long show on Monday, so we'll get to the next part. That was the last story that I had on the list, and I've already done advertisements. So I want to let you guys know that we are not doing a show on the 20th, which is Monday. We're not doing a show on Monday. I don't want to explain it to you now, and maybe I'll be in the mood to explain it to you later, but we're not doing a show on Monday.
Yes.
But stuff. We'll talk about it later.
A day off.
So we're not going to be here on Monday. And then on the 26th, if you're in the Denver area, get your tickets from the Sesh Connection for an event happening on the 26th, which is right here. The Greenest Green Party, Sunday, March 26th from 7 to 10. There's going to be vendors there, including Queen Kitty Seltzer. So get your tickets now. The location will be announced the day of the event. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Yeah, so mark your calendars. We won't be around on Monday. We'll explain it to you later, maybe, if I feel like it. So let's get on to the next one. Is everybody here? Is everybody awake? Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Okay. Get your phones or your keyboards near you, because you got to answer these questions. We have to know. We have to know how you feel. Is everybody ready? Okay, great. Awesome. She just left. She said, I'm going to go do what I got to do. So we got a couple of would you rathers. We have a couple of would you rathers. This first one, both of these I got off of Reddit. I didn't get the name of the second person, but the first person's name was Captain Kush T. Captain Kush T. Anyways, so is everybody ready? Okay, good. Great, great, great. Would you rather, excuse me, would you rather your life have an as your background, your life have an assortment of video game sound effects, or its own soundtrack? So like everywhere you went, you have a soundtrack, or everywhere you go, the things that are happening in your life are making these crazy sound effects, which
bloop, 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 like you're a video game.
Yeah, like you're a video game. Like you're a video game. Yeah, man. I know what you're doing in that chair. I've seen it happen. Next. I've watched it happen. So would you rather have video game background or soundtrack background?
That's tough. I don't know.
Oh, I do.
I feel like I would get over the sound one like really quickly.
Immediately.
But yeah, but I think, yeah, like, because that's changes with your mood and
yeah. No, I mean, could your soundtrack be of different, like, you know, like my soundtrack would be, I mean, like a soundtrack to your life. Like,
yeah,
you know, you're walking through the streets feeling like a fucking boss, and you got like fucking, I mean, I walk around with the soundtrack in my brain, right? Because I walk around with my headphones in and I walk in like a boss. I got Kevin Gates in my ear telling me I'm a fucking boss, or telling me what he wants to do to my butt. And that's fine too. Either one. Yeah, like
so like I would not have to, I would not want to make my soundtrack. It would need to just go along yeah, like it just happens.
Yeah, I think this is a question from a youngish but oldish person, oldest person, because I feel like a younger generation, younger people might feel like video games might be the way to go.
Right.
Maybe they do like EDM, so
yeah, and the whole
because I'm making entrances. That's what I'm saying. When I walk in the door, when I walk in, we know I'm a boss because my soundtrack says so. Sometimes I cry.
Making entrances, yes.
You're going video game.
All right.
So like ding ding, boing,
Boop,
boing,
boop,
boop, boop, boop, boop, boop, like that. Like every time money hits your bank account, it goes cha-ching. Well, I mean, it does that, right? Because you got your phone in your pocket and it hits your Cash App.
I guess you still get some soundtrack. You know, you get some music that way too. Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, fuck the public, Lil Bobby Customs. Nobody gives a shit about the public. The public is bullshit. It's true. You guys know it's true.
It's funny. I was that person on the lift. Like this person was getting on the lift with us, and he had a Bluetooth speaker attached to him, and it was blaring. He's like, "Can I join you guys?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you turn your radio off."
Fuck no, you can't censor the curse words.
No, I don't want to hear. Oh, can you censor the curse words?
I'm trying to be nice. Don't do that. I just, in case y'all didn't know, my mood today, aggression. Fuck them.
Maybe their ears can be censored. Like, you know, like maybe that's like if you're like soundtrack is blaring all the time, maybe as a
What if it's just like your internal
you can
soundtrack,
block
like,
out, yeah, or internal, like if you always have a
or not? I don't know. No, somebody has to hear it. You got to walk in like a fucking boss. Then fuck it, soundtrack. Yeah, because fuck it, fuck politeness, bro. And that's not mine. That comes from my favorite murder. I'm not stealing it from them. I'm just saying I agree with them.
Yeah. Yep.
I just fucking agree with them. Okay. Okay. This one. I don't even know how to feel about it. Okay. Would you rather? Y'all already know the answer to this right off the bat. You know how you feel about it. Would you rather a restaurant be sparkling clean but have like mediocre ass food, or a messy restaurant with like bomb ass shit, like bomb the best food you've ever eaten in your life?
B.
I'm gonna get sick. I don't give no fucks. I'm not gonna give no fucks. I'm gonna get sick. Because I don't want to eat in a dirty restaurant, but also like, oh my god, this shit's bomb.
As long as none of that dirtiness is happening in the food and contributing
Right.
to the flavor.
Are they just disorganized?
Yeah. Is it?
Should we just not eat here? Like,
What kind of rating we're calling it? Talking.
right. Is there a rating? Like, what's the rating?
Like they can still the letter rating an A, but they like, yeah, they don't.
It's like an A minus. Best food, hands down. I can't stand. You guys know when I got what kind of messy? That's what we're trying to figure out. You guys, when I got my first bout of COVID, which was this year, which was just like a minor flu for me. Anyways, just a little wood. Sometimes I'm superstitious. I couldn't taste anything at the end. So it was like at the end, right? As long as there's no like bugs or like mold. Is it a health messy or like health standard messy, or just like a little messy? But when I couldn't taste food and I could just taste like the tip of a flavor, I could not stand it. I just could not stand it. It was the worst. It was so horrible. The food, I mean, food I loved was so like icky. It was so gross. If we had to eat on texture alone and no flavor, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Feed me intravenously. I couldn't do it.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a would you rather. Would you rather eat bland ass food or be fed intravenously? Just fucking feed me intravenously. If it don't taste good, what is the whole point of it?
What's the point of it? Yeah, then nope.
I was watching R.I.P.D. the other day. If you guys haven't watched it, it's hilarious. It's got Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, it's on my.
The first one is hilarious, and I think is that the second one? It's the second one. But no, it's the first one. Anyways, Ryan Reynolds. Right. So there's a scene it's Ryan Reynolds and I couldn't stand it. Kelly, are you talking to me? A year? No, I would just be like, can I just get a fucking drip? I mean, I couldn't do it for a year. No. Oh my God. I love food so much. It would destroy me. So anyways, there's a scene in there. Who else is the other person? It's, the dude, who plays the dude? Where are you, dude? Where are you in the comments? Why aren't you in the comments right now? I'll think of it in a minute. Anyways, so he's like, yeah, who was it? Was Jeff Bridges? Jeff Bridges. The dude?
The dude. Oh yes, the
dude. Not what dude? The dude. Oh my God. Yes. Why do I have to explain the joke? Yes. So that's Jeff Bridges. Is that Jeff Bridges? No, that's a different actor. Is it Jeff Bridges in R.I.P.D.? It's Jeff Bridges. Okay, it is. Okay, they're all the same. He's just younger. Anyways, okay, so moving on. So he's like the older, and then like the Ryan Reynolds character just died. And so like he's part. Anyways, so there's one scene where where Jeff Bridges' character like grabs a hot dog and like eats it, and he gives one to Ryan Reynolds' character. And he eats it, and he was like, "Oh, I can't taste this." What? And he was like, "Oh, we don't need to eat. We don't need to eat." And he goes, "Then why are you doing it?" And he goes, "I like the mouthfeel." No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, absolutely fucking not. I want it better have flavor.
No.
If I die and can't taste food in my afterlife, I would just be so disappointed. Wouldn't it be great to like eat and not have to worry about like sugars and calories and bullshit? Like, wouldn't it just be great to just be able to like eat and just enjoy eating?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Here's what I don't understand competitive eaters who just like, first of all,
it weirds me out.
The hot dipping the thing in the water, the bread in the water. Stop it. What? It's weird. Why are you showing off that you don't have a gag reflex? It's fine. the hot dog Kobayashi, the hot dog champion of the world. So he's Korean. Okay, great. We'll talk about him in Asian History Month.
Oh,
it's been a fun show. We're gonna take a break on the.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm sorry. I talk too much. Go ahead.
I just said 5. It wasn't anything.
555. It's been a good show. We've had a good time. We've talked about a lot of interesting things today. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, good headlines, good history.
I'm working on getting like some political types to come on. So I'm in the process. She just started her campaign, but I'm in the process of trying to get Jamaica Scott on, and she is Jam on TikTok. Is where I've seen her. She's run for an office before. I think it's a local office that she's running for, but I just wanted to bring her on, give her a chance to hang out with us, talk to us about what her platform is and what she's doing to get out there and get the vote. And I don't even know what state she is, but I think she's in an East Coast state. I know that. So y'all should definitely tune in. And I've been watching her for years, and since I've been on TikTok, and which has been a longer time than I even imagined. But I've been watching her, and I enjoy her. She's funny. She's a comedian, and she's part of the community, and she really wants what's best for her community. And I think that I would just, we're just gonna try to have her on. We've been talking about a glass blower show, so let's put that flyer out again and maybe do like a reel about it.
Yeah, it says March on it, and then we changed it to an April date, so I have to just update the flyer.
Yeah. Let's change it to an April date. And then so we're working on a few things, but if you guys have anybody that you want to have on the show or see on the show, any suggestions for us, you can reach out to us, of course, at cannabiscloset420@gmail.com, or on any of our social media platforms in our inbox. You can just throw something in there. We check them pretty regularly, including those that are like, hey, somebody you don't know is trying to, like, we check those too. So if you think of anybody that you want on. But in the meantime, we are working on a couple of people. I'm working to also get a musician on who is really amazing. Yeah, so we're talking to a few people. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, exciting times.
Exciting times. It's all the stuff I accomplished today has been a crazy long day. So I think we can wrap it up a little bit early today.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully nobody has any complaints about that. Let me see here. You guys, of course, be nice to yourself. Make sure you put your mask on before assisting others.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's important. Cultivate love. Bring it to you. You deserve it.
I wanted to just play this on the way out for those who might have missed it. Okay, I know where I'm at. Okay. So for those who might have missed it, before we end on that get lifted kick, stay lifted kick, let's just one more time. I want to share this. It was in the intro. We're going to share it in the outro. We are sharing it. Here we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go back. Let me start again. Let me try to get that little. Yep. That was amazing. It was amazing when we saw it. It's amazing now. I'm going to watch it over and over again. Stay lifted and stay gifted. As always, we're off on Monday, but we will be back next Wednesday. Mark your calendars. Tell your friends. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Where are you? Here you are. Woo, woo, woo. See you guys on Wednesday.